Make it
will.
louder.
Okay.
Yeah, we are big.
And I continue, no?
Yeah.
Hi.
Finally,
Yeah.
finally.
We had a kind of technical issue that it didn't function with my phone, so I don't know
Oh,
why.
tell me about it. I'm having here some strange phone from them, and I have no clue how it functions. And then it's all in Russian too, on top of it.
Okay. So how has it been going? Am I the first one to talk with you, or you already had somebody else?
I
Just
had Dome
um,
actually. We had an interview.
we will connect to Palazzo Bemba in 2 minutes. So
Okay.
now we are on air, but in Palazzo Bemba we need a couple of minutes
Okay.
to put the video on the screens in Palazzo Bemba. So you can. Okay, you can keep going your conversation, but the main part of studio visit will be in about 2 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Uh, we,
you just ask me anything you want to ask me.
yes, we decided that it will be like online studio visit by curator to
Okay.
artists.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I will announce when the scenes will be ready. So you just might like have some conversation to know about Eric. Maybe you will tell the Lily about your practice
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, I can
So,
give you a quick tour.
uh-huh.
If you want me to, I can give you a quick tour. Like it's studio, so it's like not a big
Yeah, yeah,
tour.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll turn around. Okay. So we
Oh, it's
have
cool. Yeah.
all right, so
Uh-huh.
basically this is my kitchen area. I'm not even gonna go in there because it's a complete mess. And then I
Mm-hmm.
have all my pieces sitting around everywhere. And this is my bed sleeping area. There's my friend Ornella. She's visiting
Hi.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have all these windows, floor to ceiling. So I'm on the water, which is really nice.
Okay, that's really
So I
cool.
have all the light, which I need.
Mm-hmm.
I need light. I can't work in the dark. I'm not one of those artists that likes to be
Okay.
in a
Maybe you
cave.
are on Palazzo Bemba now as well.
Oh,
Okay.
we are? Okay.
Now apparently we are screened live in the Palazzo,
Okay.
so we have to take it serious now. I think
Okay, we will. We will. You
maybe
just
people
asked me.
are listening. Okay. So I see that you live in Venice,
Yes, I do.
but
Thank
you are
God.
not Italian, I guess.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm German, but
Yeah.
I've lived in the US for over 45 years.
Okay. Half
And
American, half German.
yeah, well,
Huh.
yeah, it's kind of like a weird mix, I must say. But I never
Uh-huh.
really, I mean, you know how it is when you immigrate or you move to another country for a long
Mhm.
period of time. You're neither there nor there. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of it's you
And
kind
the choice of Venice, why was that?
the choice of Venice was I was living in LA and you know, I wasn't gonna. The only city in Europe that I actually would want to live was Berlin because it's very
Mhm.
international. It has so much history. It's old, new, and everything in between. It has innovation. It's just like the unique city in Europe or in the
Mhm.
world for that matter because
Yeah.
of historical background. But from LA to Berlin, I always say it's like the same thing but German and colder.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it's
Mhm.
all spread out, and you have to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody. And I didn't want to spend the next 10 years in building another network in Europe. So,
Mhm.
Venice for me is a good small village. It's not even a town, it's a village. Everybody
Yeah.
kind of starts to know everybody, everybody talks to you. You have international art audience, art people coming into
Mhm.
town, and everybody talks to you. You get to meet everybody more than once
Mhm.
on every street corner. So for me, that was the ideal place. Plus, I wanted to rev everything about 100 notches down from the American way of life. I just had
Okay. Okay. Uh-huh.
it.
Okay. So maybe can you show me a little bit what you are doing now as part of the residency or
The residency. Okay, so
yeah?
I am doing all these body parts. And
Uh-huh.
basically, I am building. I did a little sketch actually. Where is it? It's right here. It is basically I'm doing a human raft.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started with the pallet, and then I was going to use driftwood because I'm doing another
Mm-hmm.
exhibition for the Italian NGO over here. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
about refugees, displacement, and all of that journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured this would be perfect to do another part of it. And then driftwood was a little too small, the ones that we collected, because I wanted to make some mini rafts, which I show you right here.
Mm-hmm.
These are like the mini rafts with the water bottles on them,
Uh-huh.
and then what I do for the NGO over there, and then I'll have like these mini rafts floating on the floor with a projection of water on it, and then you have basically, whoops, a leg laying on there or whatever, so there's will be
Mm-hmm.
body parts all over, and then I'll make a bigger raft. And so I
Okay,
figured
okay.
for a dome in 1 month to complete an art piece, I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
a human raft. So
Okay.
what I did is, then I went over to the park locally, the new Redendora Park, and they
Mm-hmm.
just cut all the olive trees. They trimmed them all in spring.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, perfect. And they had them all in different lengths, in piles.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I asked them if I can have them for my raft in order to create a giant olive branch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how this raft is going to go. These still need to go on here. And then I just
Mm-hmm.
found the perfect rig for my mast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we have the perfect rig from the hardware store. And then this fits right in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it just gets screwed on there. It'll lock in.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
then we have my little flag, the white surrender flag, which will
Mm-hmm.
be right here. Whoops. And there we are.
Okay.
So I have like
Uh-huh.
a children's T-shirt, and I have my
Mm-hmm.
basically my tagline for my projects is "We are humanity," all in one word.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be finished by Friday, and then we'll deliver it over the
Okay.
weekend. So that's what I'm going to do for them. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But it's meant to be exhibited inside, no, indoor.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
So
the
basically,
raft, because I was imagining it's gonna float. No.
well, I could make it, but with all the water bottles and everything else on there, it's just going to be a hard thing for them also afterwards to transport. This is all disassemblable. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
you have the raft, and with the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
these things are screwed on, and then you have the mask that it's
Uh-huh.
just screwed on that you can take off flat,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you have
Uh-huh.
and then you
Everything
have the
can be dismounted. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then you have the body parts, which I also paint white, flat white, and the inside for the flesh red. And they're going to be piled
Mm-hmm.
onto the raft, basically. You know.
Okay, okay. Because what I have been seeing on some videos that I saw from the residency is that you use people, no, that you meet in Venice
Oh yeah,
to take them as models. Yeah. How
yeah.
is this selection process?
It's
How do you
literally
choose them?
random. I like to have people that
Uh-huh.
have nothing to do with art. A lot of people I meet him like it was
Mm-hmm.
the chef from the Retendora Park from the Illy Cafe. I invited him, then he asked
Mm-hmm.
me, "Can I bring my girlfriend?" So then they came over and we did a bunch of hands and
Uh-huh.
arms and feet. And then the doors
Mm-hmm.
were open, the windows were open, and the boat goes by, and it was their friends. So then they came over. So that's how it all
Mm-hmm.
happens. And for the
Okay,
art
okay.
night, I did this one. We did
Mm-hmm.
a live thing, which I did a lot in LA.
Yeah, very big one. Yeah, a whole body. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a
Okay,
lot.
okay.
I mean, I'll show you. I have that whole thing I have in the bathroom. I do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of large ones for large scale installations. So I do full
Uh-huh.
body, yeah. And then there's performance
Mm-hmm.
elements to it. This was a breast cancer project. Then this was a
Mm-hmm.
big project in the desert, which you can see on my website. It was like a 60
Okay, okay.
meter circle, and then,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I do not just, I mean, I do full bodies, and then they have
Okay, okay.
performances in it
Mm-hmm.
or with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and they're all
Okay,
random
okay.
people. Like this girl wasn't happens to be an art student,
Mm-hmm.
but I had like literally at one point when I was in Laguna Beach, I used to have, or in
Uh-huh.
LA even, I used to have like weekend art happenings. So everybody could come in from like Friday
Okay.
night till Sunday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and naked people running around, and I'll do my body castings, and then
Mm-hmm.
somebody started painting over here, and then the FedEx man
Mm-hmm.
stopped by, and then he came back later after his shift and then stripped down and we do another body path. So that's how I find
Okay.
people in the bar
Oh,
or
that's cool.
anywhere.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's plaster you use, no? Like
Yeah.
to make them, or what kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
material?
it's plaster gauze. It's like your regular stuff that they
Mm-hmm.
used to use for the, wait, I'll show you. For broken arms and legs and stuff. That
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it goes pretty quick, no? It
Yeah.
dries like
And
almost immediately, no?
I like it because it gives you the that patchwork texture, because I do them in strips and then
Mm-hmm.
I just patch them all. Because to me, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
metaphor of a human being. We have so many layers and patches, in our lives
Mm-hmm.
till the
Yeah,
end of
yeah,
our
yeah.
lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so I reinforce
Yeah.
all of them with fiberglass on the inside. So that's when
Okay.
they get really thick and then they won't break, because I also use the drywall tape. So I also patch it on the inside, crisscross pattern. So if,
Mm-hmm.
if anything ever drops, it'll chip, but it will never break, you know.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. And so the project you are working on now, it's scheduled to be presented when you said?
I'm going to see that I can get a
In
boat either on Saturday or on Monday. I have to see when I
Okay,
get the
okay.
guy with the boat, but I have it finished. I'm finishing it on camera on Friday. We should be having everything assembled on
Okay.
Friday. Figure out which body parts are going to go
Because
on
this is a
there.
complicated thing, no? By living in Venice, everything has to happen with a boat, no?
You have to think it
Yeah.
through. And I learned it a long time ago. Like the first time I did Venice was in 2017. I did a 3 months during the Biennale
Mm-hmm.
in the church here. And we built like a life-size boat inside the church because I wanted to actually get an
Mm-hmm.
old boat and saw it in half. And then everybody said no. First of all, it's
Mm-hmm.
a no-no to saw a boat in half. And second, it won't fit through the door. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so then I
Uh-huh.
said, okay, I guess we have to build one. So then, I had like
Mm-hmm.
we exhibit, they were building me this boat, which was like literally life size inside the church.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a platform on it. And you can see it on my website. It's a pretty cool project.
Mm-hmm.
And I did
Mm-hmm.
literally 3 months live casting in the chapel, everybody's
Mm-hmm.
arms, and then multiple arms, people holding each other arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
Mm-hmm.
mounted them on, those colorful swim noodle things for the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I cut
Mm-hmm.
them. I cut them like about this tall, and it was the perfect rig to
Mm-hmm.
have all these arms vertically, standing on top of the boat. So then I had the entire
Okay, okay.
boat filled with
Mm-hmm.
hundreds and hundreds of stretched out arms and
Mm-hmm.
leaning arms and everything. Yeah. So it was a great
Mm-hmm.
project, but very taxing.
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
day,
Okay.
every day, 9 hours
Uh,
casting people, like random people,
okay.
children. I had school classes, 5 year
Uh,
olds, kindergarten. Yeah, it was fun.
because you work alone, you don't have an assistant, or your
I
friend who is there, she is helping you. No.
Yeah, I in LA I have like two regular assistants, especially for big body
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
for
yeah.
this one,
Mm-hmm.
for this one, I only had a photographer, videographer as an assistant. I mean, I did it all myself.
Yeah, okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
will get an assistant here. I'll find one. You have to train them a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because we have to work pretty fast, especially if you have a complicated position. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can't last too long. No, for the people. Yeah, I
I
understand.
know. I
Yeah.
mean, I have people really rooting for me, and they have done some serious positions for me. And I'm like, hang in there for 10 more
Mhm.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because how much does it take to dry? Like, what kind of time do you need for one
Well,
cast?
for this that I did at the park, I
Mm-hmm.
worked really fast because I never worked with that girl before, and I didn't know if she's going to hold the position, if she's going to get a cramp in her foot. So I worked
Mm-hmm.
really fast. Normally about an hour to put it all on, and then another additional about
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes or so to the point where we can lift it off so it's still damp. And then about
Mm-hmm.
3 days on a big body like that, at least 3 days to dry, 4 days to dry. It needs to be bone dry, and then it gets stiff enough so you can transport it, because I had to transport it to,
Okay, okay.
on the
Mm-hmm.
vaporetto over
So
here.
it has to stay on the spot to dry. No, you can't move it before. No, not
Um,
really.
I wouldn't do it because it's still limb and it's still kind of
Yeah, yeah,
soft,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
especially when I work fast, there were a couple of spots that were a little thin. So I wanted to make sure that they're stable
Mm-hmm.
enough so I can get it home on the vaporetto. And then this week I'm going to
Yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
cleaning it up on the edges and get it all
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Because you refine it afterwards. You kind of lime or like you
Yeah, but
adapt
I'm
it a
gonna,
little bit. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, what I'm gonna do is, for example, on this one, here it's a little weak here. I'm gonna refine the hands a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more. There's the
Mm-hmm.
mouth here. I'm gonna refine that a little bit more. Does it work? Yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
also here, that's usually a weak
Mm-hmm.
spot right here, the second foot. And then I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
the back here and get it all nice cleaned up. Even here, make it all a little even, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then it dries
Okay,
another time,
okay,
and then
okay.
it gets fiberglassed. Then I have to fiberglass the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
And as a sculptor, I've been looking at, or I don't know.
Oh, my mentor was actually Louise Bourgeois. Yeah.
Okay, you
So
knew her
I
personally.
Oh yeah, I went. It was the strangest story, actually. It was 1980, I believe it was 82 in Laguna Beach, and I remember they had an interview in. I know it was Vogue magazine. I even have it somewhere now
Mm-hmm.
in one of her books. I kept that article. And I kept reading it and thinking, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, this is like me when I'm 90. It was really bizarre. It was like a deja vu thing. And I thought, I have to
Mm-hmm.
meet her. And then I had a French
Uh-huh.
boyfriend, painter, artist, and he says, "Why don't you just call her?" And I'm like, "Really?" And
Mm-hmm.
it was the day of the switchboard, the
Uh-huh.
old school switchboard, and I found her number on her address in a studio in
Yeah.
Chelsea, and it was the funniest thing. She answered the phone, and she's like, "Who is this?" I said, "Lilli Muller from LA." And she's like, "What do you want?" I mean, literally, this is how the conversation. What do you
Yeah. What
want?
do you want?
And
Yeah.
I'm stumbling, and I don't remember what. Oh yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
she says, Jerry, can you come here and kind of make sense or something?" And I stumbled because
Uh-huh.
I literally had no concept. I was only compelled to talk to her. I had no concept
Mm-hmm.
of like,
Yeah.
what do I want, and I'm not starstruck or
Yeah.
anything. I
Okay.
was just
Uh-huh.
intimidated more than anything. And then Jerry came on,
You
and
were
he says, "Yeah, can you?"
starstruck, no?
Yeah, and then Jerry came on, and he's like, "Can you come next Sunday for tea?" And I'm like, I'm in LA, but I can come like in 4 weeks." He says, "Okay, call us the week before when you're coming, and you come at 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock to our house." I'm like, "Okay." So then try to figure out how to get the
Okay.
freaking money together to go to New York, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
where do I stay? And I called my friends up and everything. And my dad happened to be business in New York. So I will never forget.
Mm-hmm.
I went to breakfast with them, him and his accountant, around the corner at the old.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there was some train car. Yeah, that breakfast place. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm walking around her house at that block at least 3 times. I was
Mm-hmm.
hyperventilating. I'm freaking out. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
the whole
Yeah.
time there, I read Robert Storr's little booklet on the interview with her on my flight. I
Mm-hmm.
read it. I made
Yeah,
notes.
yeah.
I made notes of everything. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know what I'm going to tell her when she asks me what I want. I have no concept.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
every time I came
Uh-huh.
to that question, I'm like, I don't know what to say. And so
Mm-hmm.
anyway, then I get into her house. She opens the door, and she's like, "Sit down over there." Oh, and I'm supposed to bring my slides.
Mm-hmm.
Remember slides and 4x5s.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my slides and
Yeah,
four.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
So she said, put your slides over there." She had this cracked up, weird little light table. Put them there, and then sit down. And then she made some tea, and then and then I was so nervous. She asked me something, and I couldn't. I was stumbling my way, and she says, "You know what? Why don't you sit outside, talk to the birds, calm down? I'll look at the slides, and I'll call you back in." I'm like, "Oh yes, I'm saved. I'm saved." And she put me out on the stoop in the backyard there where the spider is right
Okay.
now.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I doing? I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
What am I doing? How am I
Uh-huh.
going to do this? Now, anyway, and she calls me back in. And then the first thing she asked me, and I always had that complex about myself because I was never
Mm-hmm.
taught. I never went to art school. I did art classes,
Okay, okay.
live
Mm-hmm.
classes. And everybody asks you, where have you studied? And I'm like, as if it has anything to do with the
Mm-hmm.
work. Really? I'm sorry. But anyway, I mean, I learned
Mm-hmm.
it a long time ago. And then the best part was when she asked me, where'd you study? And my heart was like down on the floor. I'm like, fuck. I said, I did not study. And you know what she said? She's like, oh, good. Otherwise, I would have to send you home and you have to come back, undo everything, and come back in 5 years. And I'm like, oh, really? And then the whole thing started to talking. And she was just like hammering me
Mm-hmm.
with questions why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why do I think it's art? Why do I think it's not decorative? Oh my God. I almost got in a fight with
Mm-hmm.
her because she got my goat at one point. And
Okay.
that's when she said, that's exactly where I want you. When I started fighting
Uh-huh.
back and defending myself, but in the way
Uh-huh.
of
To
making
get you
sense.
angry. Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
I was sitting on her couch. I don't know if you've ever been there. The couch, and it sits
No,
really
no.
low.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sits in front of you in a
Mm-hmm.
fucking bar stool, looking down,
Mm-hmm.
talking down at
Higher
you.
than you. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my,
Looking down at you.
it was something. Yeah, anyway, so we had an incredible talk, and she gave me a lot of feedback. And then she said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just come back anytime. And then so I went every year once or twice till the 6 months before she passed away. Yeah, I wanted to come back.
Okay.
I came that summer, and
Uh-huh.
then these were all one-on-ones. The first 10 years were one-on-ones, and then she did the salons with
Okay.
multiple artists. The Sunday
Okay.
tea time, but the one-on-ones were
But
really
she
awesome.
really gave you feedback then,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like on your
Oh
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
She goes through
Okay.
the work and says why and why am I doing this? And then the best part was always like, why do you think that's art? Why are you doing that? I mean, why? Why? For what
Mm-hmm.
purpose? And all this you have to really like get into it. It was really, really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Gave me a lot of feedback to the point where you kind of start to define really because you don't have those conversations with yourself. So it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting to
Mm-hmm.
shape and actually more clarifying where I'm coming from. I knew
Mm-hmm.
it was authentic what I was doing, but it was just like just to
Mm-hmm.
get clear about it because there was another thing. I was so young too where I hated having to explain my art or talk about it. And all the time, and I
Mm-hmm.
know it with artists too. They don't like to do it because they can't explain it. And then if you can't explain your work, I'm sorry, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to be able to be
Okay,
clear
okay.
somewhere. You don't have to lay it out for the
Mm-hmm.
audience. But I think if somebody
Okay,
asks
okay.
you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. At least you have to be able
Yeah.
to say some words about it. Oh, yeah. A
And
small
why you do
explanation,
what you're
at
doing.
least.
Yeah. And where
Yeah.
it's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it shifted me really into interesting directions. I it's not like I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at her art as inspiration. It is inspiring
Yeah, yeah.
from a content, from the depth and the content, but it's not like now I'm going to do what she's doing or so, you know what I mean? It's like,
No, no, no. But I can imagine she, being a woman and being an artist, I think she was like kind of example for you, I guess. or
Yeah, and then also, women, we all have like traumatic experiences, so it's kind of an interesting bonding. We understand ourselves and our emotional
mm-hmm,
defense mechanisms pretty well,
mm-hmm,
because that's all about that. I mean, basically, it is therapy for us, but at the same time, I don't want to like regurgitate like myself onto something and then expose somebody to my shit. It's more like I'm trying to take
mm-hmm,
that and then
mm-hmm,
somehow make it accessible to other people. So it's not just a personal thing that I'm
mm-hmm.
like throwing up on a canvas or whatever. It has
Yeah.
to it
Uh-huh.
has to be accessible to somebody without even having to explain it. Like an impact. It has to
Mm-hmm.
have an emotional impact of some sort. Large,
Okay, okay.
small, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of what I'm after. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. No, maybe I can ask you like a Louis Bourgeois question that also, like, how's your relation then with the art world? With like the museums, the galleries, and all the things around, like
Oh, that whole
the
thing. Well, yeah,
networking thing and so.
as we
Mhm.
know, the art world is completely imploding or exploding or both at this point.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think the social media and all of those elements, and also now the AI and everything else, kind of started to crack the art world a little bit. I
Mm-hmm.
also think it just got way overhyped and over evaluated in so many ways, and then
Mm-hmm.
these collectors were buying each other's work just to keep it stable, their value stable. you know
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I never
Uh-huh.
I never really, it was never my thing really to follow that.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, it'd be great to have a gallery. I know I have sellable stuff, but I don't want to get stuck. And I know some really good blue blood artists from New York that live in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up with like, having to do the same old shit for the next 20 years. Look, just because it sells and the gallery says, no,
Mm-hmm.
you can't experiment over here. I don't want to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And from very
Because
early
the works
on.
that you create are they to be sold,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
or you make them more as projects or?
No, no, no. I really sell a lot. I mean, I have a whole series of
Mm-hmm.
drawings. When you look
Okay.
at my website with works on paper, drawings, even
Mm-hmm.
most of the older sculptures are all sold. So I have buyers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think, because I'm working in so many different materials and medias, because I think
Mm-hmm.
certain things need to be told in a different way with a different material that already is either
Mm-hmm.
tactile or has already an emotional response, and then on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
you make something else. So I think, um, I don't think that galleries would know what to do with me. It's kind, you know what I mean?
Okay,
They
okay.
like to have like
Uh-huh.
one media, maybe two
Mm-hmm.
maximum. I kind of started modeling myself because I know her really well, Lita Albuquerque. And because I always ask myself, and at dinner one time I asked her with her husband, and it's so funny, people. And I said, "So how'd you do it?" And he says, "I just had to make it, and then the galleries didn't want to have anything to do with it, and I wanted to do installations, so I just started doing installations and tried to get money from
Mm-hmm.
sponsors, you know." And that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Uh-huh.
I sell
Mm-hmm.
things, or I make catalogs and books, or I do a
Mm-hmm.
print of a painting, or I do custom pieces, commissions. I do
Mm-hmm.
those and
Yeah.
finance my installations.
Mm-hmm.
And I always try to make elements in the installation sellable, because installations are hard to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to be
yeah.
in the, although I want to be in the
Okay.
Burroughs collection at one time in my life. I really want
Uh-huh.
to be there in Berlin in the bunker. Is one of my next goals.
That's your dream. Okay, that's a nice
Well,
dream to
when
have.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in when I was in my 20s, my dream was I always wanted to be
Uh-huh.
at the Biennale in Venice. Kid you not. I was
Okay.
right out of high school.
Uh,
Well, here I am.
okay.
So now we're moving on to Boros.
Okay. Okay. And why specifically Boros? Do
I
you
really
like the
like,
collection they have, or?
yeah, I like the eclecticness of the collection. They do actually buy installations. They have a really
Mm-hmm.
interesting, she has a different interesting um, taste than he does, and I think the bunker is fabulous. And I'm German, so I'm totally
Yeah, the
enthralled with the
location is
bunker.
really extraordinary. No, yeah, yeah. And I like the fact that they're very strict also in letting people in. It's not so
Yeah,
easy. They don't want it to be like for the masses, you know. And this
yeah,
is nice. If you go there, you have like the time to visit it privately and
yeah.
really see the pieces. That's nice. Hmm.
Yeah, and they do a little tour, and the guys there or the girls there, they're really very knowledgeable about
Yeah, the guides,
each
they have
artist.
really know how to explain the pieces. They
Mhm.
know about what they are showing. No, this is
Yeah,
really important, I think.
yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
was really good because
Mhm.
yeah, but some, I mean, they have very eclectic taste. I mean, some of the pieces, I just look at it and I'm like, really? I and then I always
Mhm.
wonder, how much do I think he paid for that? You know, like a
Uh,
clothes. I
and
remember
when
the
was the
clothes
last
hanger.
time you visited the Boros collection?
I haven't seen the recent one because it just went up in April, I believe. The one
Yeah.
before
Uh
I
huh.
saw, but remember the one room with the clothes hangers and like a T-shirt over it and stuff. And that's when I
Yeah, yeah,
asked.
yeah.
I wonder how
Uh
much
huh.
that was. I really want to know.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. No, but basically, well, they buy a lot of artists living in Berlin. No, they support a lot the local art scene.
They do, but it's all over, and it's all names in Europe
Yeah, yeah.
and even in
Hmm.
Germany that I have never heard of. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
So
Mm.
we'll see. I'm just
Uh-huh.
I like to do what I do because I also like to work with my work. It's very participatory. I like to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
or I work with photos, like I did. I'll show you these because this is part of the
Mm-hmm.
emergency series that I'm doing. I'm gonna do some woodcut, no vinyl cuts
Uh-huh.
actually. So that's why I blacked out the eyeballs. And then what I do
Yeah.
is I'll show you in 1 second. I'm going to do the war scenes and people fighting and whatever attacks, war attacks and
Mm-hmm.
things like that going in the eyeballs in white cut, wood cut, or vinyl cut. I'm actually doing vinyl cuts, and then I basically
Mm-hmm.
print them, print them on the eyeballs. So I have a whole series of
Okay.
like, I have a whole series of 12 of them on these, and
So
these go
these are
in,
portraits of people's faces, and you
yeah,
put the
close up,
eyeballs black.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the eyeballs, so these are like
Mm-hmm.
charcoal drawings on this specific paper, and then I basically flat out painted the whole eyeball black, flat black.
Because you consider they're observing or watching
Yeah,
horror scenes or like the
yeah,
horrors of war. This is
yeah.
yeah.
And then
Okay,
here and
I understand.
here, yeah. I didn't even put like a mouth there because it's all about not being able, like starving to death, and then this. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
have like a lot of them. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
series that's going to go in one of the rooms
Mm-hmm.
that I'm doing there. I'm doing the 4 room installation. And then the other
Mm-hmm.
series, which is like I call it Deliverance Release, but it's more like
Mm-hmm.
Deliverance. It's very angry. This was
Uh-huh.
when I left the US. I started with this, and then it just went on and on and on and on, and it goes pretty crazy down there.
Deliverance. These are like the bleeding mouths, or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's
or
like
not.
deliverance is kind of
Okay.
like as in release, different ways of
Okay.
release. I mean, there is some softer
Mm-hmm.
ones like the female breast
Mm-hmm.
over here, and then I have one here
Mm-hmm.
with my daughter's eye with the tears coming down, and I use the red, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have the trigger finger. Wait, I can show you this
Mm-hmm.
over. I think I can do this. I have like the
Okay.
fist, so those kind of things. So I
Mm-hmm.
have that's another like series of 12, and there's a room in there that's called Arrival slash Incarceration. And it's going to be all
Mm-hmm.
these animal cages with heat blanket people in them. And it's going to be a dark
Okay.
room. And then those drawings will be on there, on the wall. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's going to be a pretty
And
dark
if you
room.
talk about an exhibition, where do you want to present this? You say,
This is going to be here
if I
at
understand well.
Emergency. At Emergency
Ah,
here,
okay.
the
Mm-hmm.
NGO, the Italian NGO. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Uh huh. And they have exhibition space.
Yeah, they have a huge building here, and the right side is currently
Okay.
they're going to keep that exhibition up. Is their own capabilities with the Doctors Without Borders. They do all kinds of stuff. They have clinics all over the
Mm-hmm.
world, and also they're doing the boat rescues over the Mediterranean Sea. And then the left side they're going to give
Uh-huh.
me for the exhibition for 2 months in September, October.
Okay.
So,
But at the same time, this is a center that is used by them for their activities, if I understand
yeah,
well. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they do.
mixed.
They
Mm-hmm.
also do concerts there. They also do lectures, conferences there, and exhibits. Yes,
Ah, but I thought that they have their offices there also. No, it's
they
not the
do have
case.
offices upstairs. It's like actually it's
Mm-hmm.
2 stories. This is the second
Mm-hmm.
headquarter. The main headquarter is in Milan, but it's a much smaller
Okay.
building. And then this is kind of like this is a huge headquarter. Yeah,
Okay. And this organization is like international or it's
Italian,
Italian?
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah, it's like the biggest
So you
NGO in
speak
Italy.
Italian then also, or
Oh, I can make myself understandable. I'm not quite there yet. And
okay,
this
okay,
year I was going to take a crash course this year, but I'm too busy right now.
uh,
So I guess it'll wait till January. I mean, I can make myself
okay,
understandable. Yeah. So
okay, okay. Uh-huh.
so how about
Because maybe I didn't understand right. You're not living permanently in Venice.
yes, yes I
You're
do.
there for now. You do. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm registered in Germany, but because of the EU, I'm here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth because my mother is still in a home in Germany, so I have to visit her every other month.
Okay. Okay.
And my daughter
Mm-hmm.
moved to Berlin, so it's kind of actually two birds with one stone. I have the big
Okay.
city when
Okay.
I want it,
Mhm.
but I like the small town, the small village. The
Yeah, yeah,
village.
yeah, yeah. Okay. And is it easy just to know to install oneself in Venice? Because it must be difficult to find a place to stay, no, I guess?
Yeah, I
It's
was
not
very
easy
lucky.
to find something.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
Uh-huh.
easy. No. And it was very, very strange how I found the place. It was one of those meant to be moments. I mean, I
Oh,
literally
okay,
looked at
okay.
one apartment and the second one was this one. It took a while because, we're on Italian time. Everything takes 5 times as long.
Mm,
But that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's perfect because I needed light, and I need like
Mm-hmm.
a room without 50,000 pieces of furniture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And where in Venice is it exactly? In
It's
which part
it's
of the
on
city?
Giudecca. It's on Giudecca.
On
Yeah,
Giudecca. Okay. Mm-hmm.
which is also a good, and it's the Junghans complex. So it's a whole complex
Mm-hmm.
that's built, and which is nice because they're a little more modern buildings, which means I have water pressure,
Mm-hmm.
very important,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I have AC, very important right now,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then I have the killer the killer view. I mean, can't get better than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Mm-hmm.
I know. It's
Okay.
like it's like you sit on the couch and you can
Okay.
actually start to think, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
nice.
Uh-huh.
It's like, when does
Yeah.
one have time to think? You in New York, right? Do you live in New York?
No, no. I'm in Barcelona. I'm
Oh, you live in
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Oh, okay.
No, but I'm originally from Belgium, so I'm more
Ah,
like to the German side than to New York, to the States. Uh,
okay. Okay. Yeah.
and right now I'm in the office of the people from DOM here in
Oh,
Barcelona
okay.
because they
Oh,
have a
okay.
small exhibition space. I can show you.
Oh, yeah, let me
Like
see. Oh, nice.
you,
That's a cool space.
no, it's cool. And
Yes.
so they make small exhibitions of people they have been working with, and at the same time it's their office.
Nice.
So,
Nice. In Barcelona. I've never
but
been in Barcelona. That's one of my things I have to do. I have some friends from LA that
it's
live
not so
there.
far from Venice, and the flights are not so expensive.
No, it's not that
It's
bad. Yeah.
quite affordable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So maybe you should plan it and come
Yeah,
and
I
visit them
will
here.
plan it.
Yeah.
I have to get these two
Okay.
shows
Okay.
finished and then next year we'll be traveling again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe what would be interesting also to know is how is the experience or the feeling for you in about participating in this project? because it's a bit unusual, no? Like the format and so on.
I like, well, that's, I think I told her already the other day in the interview. That was the thing that really interests me. And that's why I applied for it, because I like it. People like to see how people work, how artists
Mm-hmm.
live. It's usually very interesting to them,
Mm-hmm.
the process and everything. I mean, it is a long day, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock, having to be on camera. I mean, I can't be sitting there drinking, Prosecco all day, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
usually
yeah.
my days are not as physical, because I take time to sit there, do some writing. I do some little story writing and some poetry writing, for my videos, or
Mm-hmm.
for the catalogs, the books that I'm making.
Yeah.
And or I sketch up some next project, because I usually work on 5 6 at the same time with different materials.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that if I'm on camera and people are walking in and they see me just sitting there staring out the window. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
been full physical days for me, let me tell you. And that
Okay.
is a little
Uh-huh.
challenging at times, so I've been taking my nap, but I get a lot done.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is I have a very similar theme for the emergency, so I could work on all of it at the same time, you know, during the
Okay, okay.
day, with
Uh-huh.
the different
Okay.
body parts, and then in between doing some body casting. Like tomorrow I have some girls coming in, and on Friday
Mm-hmm.
and on Friday, the girls can help me actually put the raft together so we can finish the whole thing off. So,
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and then have some studio
Because
visits.
that's the problem that I saw. I thought maybe like artistic activity can be like unspectacular, no? Like what you say, writing a poem or like working on
Yeah.
the computer. It's not. It's like intimate, no? It's very hard to communicate that to an
Yeah.
audience over video. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
and I
also, I
think
mean,
it's an
it's
important part of, yeah, or just thinking and watching through the window.
That's what I mean. And
It's
I had to really
that's
think
working.
about I had to really think about how I'm going to structure the day, because I'm like, yeah, usually I just have my breakfast, then I'm going to think, then I'm going to do some
Mhm.
drawing, then I'm going to do some writing, and then I'm going to start getting to the body
Mhm.
parts. So now I had to schedule, like, I'm going to paint the body parts, then I'm going to reinforce on the other stash with fiberglass.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then da 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 da. I mean, the drawings were already all finished, so I couldn't really do the drawings.
Uh-huh.
I was done with those,
Okay.
because but then also, if
Mhm.
somebody just paints, it's got to be boring too. 9 hour painting, I would
Yeah,
go
yeah,
crazy. At least
yeah, yeah,
I changed the medium. And I also stitch
yeah,
in
yeah,
between.
of
I had
course.
to stitch the
Hmm.
t-shirts, so you get to do a
Hmm.
bunch of different things, which at least the people have something to look at.
Okay, okay.
know?
Hmm.
You know.
So, in a certain way, you would say that it was motivating for you, that the
Oh,
fact
I
of
liked it.
being
Yeah, I
like
think it was really,
live
really great.
all the time. Hmm.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
when I first heard about the project, it made me think about, I guess this work by Bruce Nauman mapping the studio, no?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
know this video installation? And it's basically you see his studio at night and just some cats passing by, and he's not there even,
I
like.
know, I know, I know.
So I was imagining that it could happen also, no, like that there would be like a lot of streaming of empty moments, or like
Emptiness.
nothing
Yeah.
happening.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why
Uh-huh.
that's why I decided I usually take a nap, a power nap in the afternoon, like about 40 minutes or
Hmm.
so. I'm still gonna do it. So I have my eye patch on, the camera is watching me sleep, and then I did like I
Okay.
decided to do a little board that says pause. And then I have like a question
Uh-huh.
for everybody, like the words of the day, like, are you satisfied or are you fulfilled, was the first one.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then people can think whatever they think, but I have to take a nap. I mean, you
Okay.
can't just do all day. And then make
So
something
you
to eat.
include your John Giorno moment, like sleeping, like for the Andy
Yeah,
Warhol film.
you have
It's
to.
nice.
I
Yeah.
know, like the Andy Warhol
Yeah,
film.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it helps too. Had some studio visits, some friends of mine coming in from Cologne and then from all over.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps too, because then they come in and then they talk, and then it's just like drink some more
Mm-hmm.
prosecco, and then we do the body cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
It's about conversation
And do
too,
you,
about people.
okay. And so when you talk with the people when working, everything is streamed live also. You don't
Yeah.
censor anything. Okay.
I don't. And
Yeah,
I mean, and I don't have,
yeah.
see, and I don't have a problem with like the camera. So it's like, to me, it's not even there. Once in a while, I'll make sure that I'm at least facing the camera, that I'm not blocking it and be with my back to the camera.
Uh,
And then the other one is, once in a while when I sit on the couch, I just turn it around. I'm conscious of it. But
okay,
the other
okay.
day I had a studio visit, and this girl, I know, I told her she's on camera, but I think she completely spaced it. So she walks in, takes her pants
Uh-huh.
off, and runs around in underwear the whole entire afternoon for the studio visit. It was
Mhm.
very funny. And I wasn't going to say anything. At first, I was, and you know what? She's so natural. Then she's going to be so self conscious. It's not necessary. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
she
yeah.
was flashing
Mhm.
boobs or anything was hanging out.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
very
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because is it hot right now in Italy also?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I
It is
guess, no?
hotter than hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 31, 32. But I have AC.
Okay. So this helps. Yeah, yeah. Of
Oh,
course.
yes. You're kidding me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Do you know how long we are supposed to be talking with each
I have
other?
no idea.
Is
I
there
mean,
any limit, or
we're now
maybe
46
I have
minutes.
to? Oh, so I'll ask my friends if what they think about it. Maybe
Okay.
I just check with them in the office.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go check.
I Yeah, but I can't move because the phone is connected to a cable.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
shout and I will hear what they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fine.
Sorry.
It's so
eh,
funny.
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene que? How long does it need to take?
It might take as long as you want, but if you already decide that that's it, for us it's absolutely okay. So if you are ready to connect, feel free. Thank
Okay.
you for your time.
So what do you think? I think it
I
was a nice meeting, no?
I
And
think it was a
I
nice
really
meeting.
like it. That,
And the next time I'm in Barcelona, I will definitely look you guys up. I will come and
yeah,
visit
perfect.
for
Yeah,
sure.
okay,
Yeah.
and then we can meet in person. That would be very,
Yeah,
very
and if you
nice.
and if you're
So,
coming to Venice this year for Dome or whatever, then definitely let me know. Yeah.
I'll give you a sign. Okay,
Okay, good. All
let's
right.
do like that. Okay, it was
We'll
nice
do.
meeting you, and
Ciao. Nice to
have
meet
a
you too.
nice
Ciao, ciao.
end of the day. Okay,
Okay.
bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.